friends, welcome back. My name's Molly. I'm the founder, owner, operator, everything for Lacquer22, a small nail polish company. And today we're doing a video that I originally saw from Rachel Palmieri and then also from Batty Bean as well. This is the one palette that I would keep from every brand that I own, except for one, which is NYX, because I just haven't used them in long enough to feel I can still comment on that. Anyway, moving on. So I have a bunch of different brands, most of them that have been featured on the channel already, but I'm telling you which one essentially is my favorite and why I would only keep that if I had to get rid of everything else. So here we go. Okay, so we're starting with About Face. Now I know that this is not a palette, but it's still an eyeshadow, so I still wanted to count it because I genuinely just really love it so much. This is the Matte Fluid Eye Paint in the shade Capulets. I am so in love with this color. This is such a good like professional color or like very light makeup kind of shade. I wore this to my last job interview. I wore this, I wore this to the last like event thing that I went to, just because it's kind of toned down. It feels kind of like a grown-up shade, grown-up eyeshadow, because obviously what I'm wearing right now is not going to be like acceptable everywhere. So this is my kind of like go-to classy look, easy peasy. I just really love it. It lasts all day, it doesn't crease. I feel like this shade is also just so perfect. Next we've got Odin's Eye. So I was going back and forth between this palette and the Solmon 2. And I feel like ultimately these colors just fit me a little bit better. So this is the Merry Christmas palette. And I really love a red look. I love having black in here. These top two mattes are so springy. They're muted, but they're still springy, and I just really like those tones. Shimmers in here are beautiful. I love having this dark maroon shade. An orange shimmer is beautiful. I just feel like this palette is so pretty, and quality is always there for Odin's Eye. I feel like this apparently is my favorite one out of the ones I have. I don't know, I was kind of shocked by it, but what are you gonna do? Next, we've got Nomad Cosmetics. Now, I absolutely love Nomad. I feel like they just do really good theming, really good quality, just good branding in general. The one that I chose was the Whistler Snow Lodge. Now, unfortunately, this is no longer available. This was retired earlier this year, I believe, which makes me really sad because it's such a beautiful palette and I would love everybody in the world to have one. The blue row, the green row are phenomenal. I do like having the black. I like having the brown as well. Some of the shimmers could use a little bit of work and updating, but overall this palette is just so pretty, and I feel like you can get so many fun looks out of it, and it can either be spring or it can be winter, or you can use that really bright gold and have a beautiful pop for summer. I feel like this palette is so nice. Just overall, just so good. Okay, this next brand is Dose of Colors, and I don't think I've used any palettes on the channel by them, but I do use them, you know, off camera, I guess. This palette is called Cutting Edge. This is the most beautiful, grungy, dirty, fall kind of color story, and I love it so much. This mustard, you've got like a burnt orange, and then this really dark olive. They are so beautiful. The mattes from Dose of Colors are just buttery and blendable and pigmented and just really nice. Shimmers are really pretty too, but I would say that a glitter glue is required. But I just really love the feel of this. It feels so warm and cozy and fall time. I love it so much. It's so pretty. Now we've got more of a newer brand to my lineup. I mean, it's been here for a couple months now, but still. This is Gorman Girls. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Gorman Girls is a Texas-based brand, so I love that. It's a couple added bonus points for them. And the one I would keep is the newest one from them with Steph's Beauty Stash. Nueva Vida. I think this palette is just so fun and bright, and I said it in my video with the palette, I feel like this is the best quality that Gorman Girls has done, and I am so in love with it, and I really, really hope it stays. I feel like this color story is beautiful. The shimmers in here are pretty much all toppers, which I love and adore. I've talked so many times about how much I love the Noctilucent palette from Blend Bunny. I just feel like this is such a fun color story and almost a rainbow palette. Not quite, but almost. And we've still got some darker shades down here to have a well-rounded look. I just think this palette was done really, really well, and it's so pretty. The next brand we have is Unearthly. If you've been around the channel at all, you know I am a big Unearthly fan, and the one I decided to keep is Leather and Lace. So this is more of my kind of like grungy, toned down everyday palette from them. We've got an olive green row, a burnt orange row, and then like a purpley berry row. And the quality in here is really good. The colors are really nice. The rows make it really easy to just quickly make a look. I just feel like you can't really go wrong with this palette. I feel like it gives you so much of what you need for life, if you will. I don't know, I just really like this one, and I feel like it's a better option of a day-to-day palette for me than some of their other choices. Yeah, I really love this palette so much. Next we're going to e.l.f. This is one of their quads, and it's not truffles. So this is from their mint collection, mint chocolate chip collection, whatever it was. But this is called Chocolate Mint. And this is 2 brown mattes and then a beige and a mint shimmer. And I feel like this combo was just really, really nice. I didn't realize how much I love a pastel with a neutral before I had this palette to play with. I feel like it's just so easy to make a look. I love the look of the mint and the brown together. It's just really nice and really cute, and again, easy. You don't really have to think about your eyeshadow much. Next we have a brand that I haven't talked about a whole lot on the channel. I don't have too many things from them. However, they have started going downhill in my eyes. This is Kaleidos. The one I would keep is Club Nebula from Angelica Nyqvist. I just feel like these really rich and deep tones are so beautiful. And I love that we have the kind of lighter shades as well. The shimmers are so pretty. I feel like this palette was just done really, really well. I like Flower Punk a lot, but I don't know, the shimmers have dried up and are dead, and I prefer the mattes in here more. And then the Black Jasmine that I have is just a black monochromatic quad. It's not that special, but this, beautiful. This next one was a fairly easy choice just because this brand I only have 2 palettes in my collection from. This is Bella Beauté Bar, and the one that I chose was recently deceased. Recently de-influenced. Oops. I feel like the kind of earthy tones in here are just so pretty. Don't get me wrong, I love the greens and purples of Basic Witch that I have as well. However, these just really pull me in. I love these oranges up here. This green is so beautiful. You have this darkening up shade, and then so many of these shimmers are really beautiful. We have 2 toppers here that I love, and then there's a couple of other duochromes. Actually, if I remember correctly, all of the other ones are duo/multi-chromes. It's just such a beautiful palette. I feel like the formulas are really good. Blends, the mattes really blend well. The mattes are very pigmented, and the shimmers are just really creamy and soft. It's so pretty, and it's earthy and fall tones, and I love it. Okay, we've got 3 more. So this one is Colourpop, and I have a lot of palettes from Colourpop, but I do have my like core maybe 5 that are my favorite no question. And so I was going through those and I was having to decide, and I just feel like I would keep Orange You Glad. I was considering the Raw Beauty Christie palette. I was considering the Emerald palette, the Emerald Quad, I mean. I was trying to go through, I was even thinking the Big Poppy, and then whatever the yellow one is called. That's the sunflower theme. I was just going through quite a few thinking, okay, well, this one, like, I don't wear it that often, but I love the color, whatever. I ended up going with Orange You Glad because I truly, orange just makes me so happy, and I love the shades in here. My only qualm with this palette is that there's not a dark enough shade for me to use this as often as I would like to, so I always have to pick from something else to deepen my look. But I love that we have this bright yellow orange, and this is more of a red orange, have more of a peach up here. I just really love this palette so much, and I don't feel like you can ever go wrong with this palette. It's so pretty. It's so happy and bright and fun. Just perfect. Perfect. Next we have Glamlight. And this one was hard for me too. I was considering the Rick and Morty palette. I was considering the Barbie palette. And then I realized, both of those are too big for them to be the only ones that I keep. Because I really ultimately am not a huge fan of big palettes like that. But then I was going through some of the smaller ones and trying to figure out, okay, which one do I love the absolute most? And I ended up settling on the Creeps and Crawls palette. This from the first Scooby-Doo launch. I adore the shades in here so much. I feel like they're just so beautiful. I love that we have a pinks and blues, and then we have shimmers that are kind of corresponding to the mattes as well. The quality in here, typical Glamlight quality, so good. I really love whatever magic they put in this palette, and it has to be the one that I keep. Has to be. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. The last brand that we have is Blend Bunny, and this is their newest palette that has not been featured on the channel yet. This is the Machina palette. I am so in love with this. We have such pretty tones in here. It did take me a minute to be like, okay, maybe that is pretty. Maybe I do need that actually. Because I was like, well, I don't think I like how it's laid out. Like, I don't think the gradient left to right makes sense. So I had to like kind of figure that out in my brain. And then I realized, okay, life machines. So it's split in half. I feel like this palette has everything, and I don't know how they did it. We've got berries, reds. We have more of a like purple blue versus more of a like kind of gray blue, which I enjoy both. Olive green, love. And then I really enjoy that we have a white and a black, and then gray can be used to kind of tone down some brighter shades if that's not what you're feeling that day. In the Sugar and Grunge palette, I will often use that gray in there, the mid-tone gray, to just kind of mute some other shades to have more of a grunge look, so it's not as bright. And you can do the same thing here, but you can also still get a really bright look. I really love the shimmers in this palette. I feel like the Cyborg shade is more of a topper, and I feel like that's not common for them, and I would love to see more in palettes and not just the Noctilucent palette. But I feel like they just did a really good job with this. And I feel like if you haven't tried Blend Bunny yet and you want to, maybe this is the one for you. I just feel like it's so good. I feel like the formulation on this one is somehow better than all the other palettes, and I still haven't done an ingredient check, but I feel like it's more pigmented, more blendable, somehow just another step above what they already were at, and what they were already at is already so good, so I don't know how they improved. But they did, in my opinion, at least. I really, really love this palette. I feel like you get some really good tones, really good quality, beautiful shimmers. I really love it. I also would say if you haven't tried Blend Bunny yet, get the Noctilucent palette. I didn't pick that one because technically it's not eyeshadow, but I do use that one very often. It's the blue shimmer on my lids today. Well, that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. One palette from each brand that I would keep if I had to get rid of everything else. Eyeshadow makes me so happy. It's my favorite part of my makeup every single day. Looking at my little pile that I've got here, I'm just like, wow, I do love that palette. I do love that palette. That one's so good. Oh my god. I think I've made some good choices. If I had to absolutely get rid of some. Had to. Obviously, it would not be voluntary. That's all we got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Would you keep any of these? Do you have any of these that are your top favorite as well, or am I alone in some of the ones I chose? Let me know, and I will see you next time. Hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!